Hey, what's happening, everyone? This is Snoo, and I'm back from Exilecon. Just flew back in yesterday, so I got a nice bit of sleep, feeling well rested. Finally, actually had to work today, unfortunately, but still feeling pretty good. Expect this channel to be heating up now. We're in the sort of pre-league start season, and so I'm going to be getting on Twitch a fair bit, looking at league start practice, league start kind of, making the guide for what I'm going to be doing and, practicing different stuff. Obviously, we're going to talk a little bit about, some of the new information from the Exilecon itself, especially as it relates to the next league. But we're going to save some of that stuff for future videos. Right now, I just want to kind of, while it's still very fresh in my mind, while I still have to digest a lot of this information overload, I just want to talk about how it went. Just straight up, on a personal level. For those of you who weren't there, I was kind of curious what it was actually like to be there on the ground. Got some footage in the background. You can kind of get some sense of what it was like. It was a hell of a blast, I should say. And while I know that some people didn't like all of the changes, especially PoE2 stuff, I see Reddit, some people talking about this and that. I gotta say, it's a different experience when you're there. The hype overrides all of that, and the information overload is what it is too. Everybody's super stoked, super excited to be there, getting to meet all the people that are major fans, the biggest fans of the game, and of course getting to meet your streamers and big name streamers, people much bigger than me, for sure is exciting. However, I will say I had a slightly different experience than most people there because I am a streamer, small time, so a lot of people most people there didn't know who I was, but I did get approached by a few people, so that was really cool. It's definitely the first time I'd ever found myself in a public setting where I had any level of fame whatsoever. Usually I'm not the center or the life of the party, typically, at that. I'm not even all that social, generally speaking, so, I had to really come out of my shell on this one. And to that, I'll say it went over very well. So there was actually genuine concern that being there, I might just get so overwhelmed and exhausted that I wouldn't even be that approachable or, that personable. But not the case, managed to hold out. I did actually check out of the second day I was there a little bit because, I kind of drank a lot the night before at the VIP dinner and all that. But aside from that, everybody I talked to, super awesome, great conversations, whether they were with devs or fans or just people just other people, they didn't even know who I was or anything. It's just other fans. I met a lot of new people. If I talk about you and who or you are the person I'm talking about, say something in the comments. That's cool. I'm not going to give any real life names or anything. I met some streamers, the main streamers I remember meeting. I met Subtractum, actually, boarding the plane to New Zealand because he happened to be visiting Japan at the time. That was pretty cool, getting to have a convo with him for about 20-25 minutes. Very cool guy. I got to meet Preach Gaming, who's not really a PoE guy, but a variety streamer who, definitely enjoyed doing a blind run through a PoE, so I got to talk to him about a lot of World of Warcraft stuff for a little while. Gazzy TV was there too, talked to him multiple times, very chill guy. He certainly seemed to be man, out of all the streamers, because he was there at the bars and stuff afterwards hanging out with people, he's definitely the most real person I felt like I met as far as streamers. He was just there having fun. And, God, I met all kinds of people. Of course, I met Chris Wilson. You can see in the thumbnail. Met him at the dinner. Didn't want to take up too much of his time, obviously. Just wanted to wish him luck for the following 2 days, and that was that. Got the picture in. That was great. A lot of people were getting selfies constantly with that guy. He's everybody's hero, right? I got to meet a few devs. Man, the VIP dinner was pretty crazy. I did attend the VIP dinner. I wasn't invited, by the way. So a lot of the streamers, they were flown out by GGG and stuff. I had to pay my own way there. Just so you're aware, I was basically just there as a fan. And I figured I might be approached by a few people. I was, a few people. But actually at the VIP dinner, only one person approached me at all. So I got to really play the role of just being there as a fan. But I got to sit there and have a conversation with the dev for the game engine. And oh my God, we talked for 4 or 5 hours. And, it was a group conversation or whatever. But man, he stayed well past the deadline for the devs. A lot of the devs would go home. They may or may not have wanted to actually be there and talk. But I definitely feel like I scored. I got to talk to him for so long, asked so many questions, like really cool questions. Like for example, I know I asked him and a couple others, what was your proudest achievement as a developer, and what was your biggest regret or biggest mistake they ever made developing? Questions like that. It was really fun questions about that. There were, specific things about PoE they couldn't answer that or whatever, but yeah, the hype was real. Being there on the ground for the following 2 days, almost doesn't even matter what they announce. Like, everybody's just hype out of their mind. So if you're there and like you were watching the live stream and you're thinking, man, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, that might have been kind of the back of people's heads a little bit, but I gotta say, like, the hype just overrides everything. And then we come back and then we reread it and then we kind of get a sense, oh, I guess people didn't really like that. Or, oh, I guess my intuition about that thing was kind of right. It's just people hadn't really digested it yet. Yeah, we'll talk about some of that stuff in the future, but yeah, on the ground, man, they had all kinds of stuff. There was a card game people could play. I didn't really do that. There was a demo that went on. I played the Huntress. I got to play PoE 2 Huntress. It was pretty challenging. Definitely more of a slow, methodical gameplay than in PoE 1, but they outfitted us with like a harder version of the game or whatever, for whatever reason. I got to meet a dev after that demo, which was really crazy. Probably my favorite person that I met was another developer in production, and he approached me after I got done with the demo, because he was there. He was kind of overseeing it, and he was asking me a little more, how should I say, forthrightingly, asking me like what I thought. He kept asking me like specific questions, and he had this smile on his face. It was kind of like this smile he couldn't get rid of. I was like, you just smile. I literally said, I was like, man, you're smiling a lot. It's kind of weird. Like, you're asking me this question. It's like, oh, I know you. He said that. I was like, this would be the first time I ever experienced where an actual developer knew who I was. So that's exciting, obviously. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. He knows of me or whatever. And he's like, no, actually, like, I watch your stuff. I love your content. He's like, couldn't believe he said that. And then I said, oh, wow, really? And I just kind of out of the blue, I said, well, so what did you play? So you play the game, and, like, actually play the game, like, pretty seriously? He's like, yeah. I said, what did you play this last game? He's like, oh, I played Lightning Arrow, Deadeye with Sublime Vision. I was like, really? That's my build. I made that build popular on my channel, and it's a supremely high-end build, the way that I made it. The Magic Find build, it's like, yeah, I did the whole thing. It's like 100% quantity, 400% rarity, something like that. Sublime Vision. It's like, really? You're like Headhunter, Mage Blood, and everything? It's like, yeah, I had Mage Blood. I mirrored Sushi's bow. He said that. And when he said that, I was like, oh my god, I'm talking to the real deal. This guy's actually the real deal. He's one of us. Yeah. So, yeah, I made a joke. I said, hey, we got somebody on the inside now. Wow, we got someone on the inside. So, of course, I befriended him, talked to him a little bit. That was really awesome. I honestly can't believe that one of the few people there that approached me was an actual developer in the game who not only knew of me, but knew me very well, knew my content, and not only knew my content, liked my content, but it was actually going the entire 9 yards, playing the game the same way I play it, and taking advice from like the ways that I was constructing builds and things. I was completely floored when he said that. Yeah, met some other cool people. We had like an after party after the second day. Met some guys, had some really nice long conversations. There was a pair of brothers. One of them played Poison Tornado Shot this past league, so they knew me really well. And then later that night, met a group of really cool guys who were actually group players. They were like a very, very organized, like group racing, every league group of players, kind of like Impy, I guess. Impy is really popular in that sense, but he wasn't there, by the way. But they play the game that way, and yeah, we went to like the bar after. We have like after party. We went to the bar afterwards. Probably like a 3-hour conversation about all kinds of things, like super ultra specific things about juicing, magic finding stuff. So that was cool. Never got to nerd out quite that hard before. So especially in real life, that was different. And by the end, I drank a lot of alcohol, which I don't normally do. Had to, basically yell in the taverns to say anything, and completely lost my voice. So I'm surprised I'm even here saying anything into this microphone right now. But basically, the long and short of it is that it was a hell of a I almost said it again. Hell of a blast. It was a hell of a blast. So much fun, and the hype carried over what any problems that took place there. Every conversation I had, I felt like was satisfactory with anyone. So I'm really happy that because I mean, even though I'm there as a fan, and I'm not required to do anything for GGG while I'm there. There's a certain level of performance I want to have. There's many different ways I could have taken that. I could have been like way more keen on, I guess, networking, taking it from a professional setting. I could have been like trying to stream the whole time I was there. I could have been trying to make money doing there, making videos, that nice stuff. You know what? I was like, I just kind of want to enjoy myself. I just want to have fun. You guys recommended that, actually. Many of you said, dude, just have fun, enjoy yourself. You weren't that concerned if I was making content there on the ground, which was actually one of the big disadvantages to going, is because it really didn't have my setup, didn't have anything way to edit videos. There were definitely a lot of videos already coming out from a lot of good content creators who were just kind of watching, the reaction videos already from that sort of thing. Couldn't come out with anything like that, but hey, that's okay. We got more content coming in the future. But yeah, that's there's probably so many more things I could talk about. We're gonna leave out the specifics on like the actual information, crazy thing we learned. Of course, well, I guess I'll mention a couple major ones, like the new league mechanic. Looks like it's going to be one of those that's going to take out a map, so I wasn't all that excited. The tattoo system, that looks pretty cool. Different kinds of power coming our way. The demo, a little bit, maybe not, I wouldn't go so far as to say alarming, but concerning. That it's really overly methodical gameplay, but I suspect, once we get in-game gear and stuff and actually play the final balanced variation of the game, and once we start figuring out the game, figuring out how to play, that'll be good. I don't suppose it's actually going to be ruthless with gold, but I don't know. We'll see. That's pretty far away. We've still got a year till that comes out. Those keystones, man. Everybody's talking about that expedition keystone, man. I'm all about the torment keystone. I'm gonna make a separate video on that one for sure. I'm gonna talk about how big of a deal that is for magic finding, especially. But yeah, hope you had fun. Let me know what you thought of Exilecon, especially if you were there, especially if you're one of the people that I mentioned, and you are. Say something in the comments, to prove to the people that you're real, I guess. And yeah, we're just gonna leave it there. I'm still pretty tired. Can't even really think of what else to say, but that's just kind of it. Just wanted to get out the best of it so you could kind of know a little bit about what it was like. Okay? So, yeah, if you have any other questions, leave them in the comments section below. More videos to come. And so I will see you there, okay? Bye for now.